Okay, the topic that we are going to discuss today is international location decisions. We need to study a definition that is multinational. Multinational is a business that has operations or production in more than one country. For example, McDonald's, for example, KFC, for example, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, Unilever, Procter& and Gamble, or such big businesses are called multinationals because they operate from more than one country, but they have head office in one country, but they have their operations spread in more than one country. The question is that what are the reasons for the international locations? Why businesses locate in other countries? First of all, to reduce the cost. There are multiple reasons attached with the reduction of the cost. Cheap labor. You go in those countries and locate where the labor is cheaper as compared to your own country. Cheap locations. Site cost is very low, and you have to build like a very heavy site on hundreds of acres, and you find someplace very cheap, you go there. So sometimes the capital is cheap, interest rates are very low. So there are multiple things that can reduce the cost of your business, and to reduce that cost you locate in those countries. The second reason because of which we do multinational locations is to access the global market. It means that if you identify that your potential consumer is located somewhere else, and you are not operating there, you will move to that country and will start operating there. If you realize that your sales can be done in other countries too, you can move to the other those countries, and you can start selling your goods over there. Sometimes to avoid the protectionism or barriers. Barriers are those limits on the trade that other countries has put. For example, a high tax, for example, a quota that you cannot export to those countries more than a specific limit or things like that. So if there are protectionisms, if there are barriers, to avoid those barriers, you start operating in those countries directly. There are other reasons too. For example, government is offering you a good subsidy package and you start operating there. Sometimes government are offering other financial services and matters. Sometimes you identify that making a company is far more easy as compared to your country in those countries. So because of these things, you start operating in those countries.